Welcome back to a new week or weekend, or well, Demon of the Week anyway. So we are going to have a look at Lilith today. Now, do bear in mind that Lilith, well, the topic of Lilith is very extremely extensive, and there is a lot we could have a look at. So I'm going to make this kind of brief. But I do encourage you to go and have a look at some other sources, and also if you do find that you have a connection with Lilith, go and talk to Lilith herself, because that's the best option. But let's get into the intro first. Welcome to my channel. You are entering the world of magic and mysticism with your host, Lee W. Johnson. Keep the lights on and help improve the channel by becoming a supporter for just $2.99 per month. Hit the join button. Okay, so Lilith. Let's just start with the Correspondences. So, areas of expertise: deadly and destructive sexuality, storms due to being a storm demon, the wilderness, death in infancy, death in childbirth, according to some, her seductive properties, and the prevention of reproduction properties, being deadly to men through seductive dreams, death in infancy, connect her to prostitutes on this plane, as they to prevent the kind of sex that will bring offspring, and succubi on the next. The freedom of riding this current can destroy shame and other emotions meant to keep one down. Associated symbols would be the screech owl, dragons, birds, the wilderness, wild, destructive, and sexual women. The associated colors, the most often associated colors are red and black. And offerings, the list goes on and on. It is so long, it's better to actually make the personal connection with Lilith and then ask her what you should actually offer. Her en Renik Vyasa Avaj Lilith Lira. But now, for more information about Lilith that I can possibly add to this short discourse, I would suggest going to libraryoflilith.com. I'll put it in the description, and explore the text there. It's quite extensive, and you may find a lot more than you reckon for. Alright, so Lilith, a figure deeply embedded in ancient mythologies and folklore, has captivated human imagination for centuries. Across various cultures and traditions, Lilith emerges as a symbol of rebellion, independence, and mystery. While her origins can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamia, Lilith's presence extends into Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions, each contributing unique facets to her enigmatic character. If we have a look at the Mesopotamian roots, the earliest references to Lilith can be found in Mesopotamian mythology, where she was initially portrayed as a winged demon or storm spirit. In Sumerian mythology, she was associated with the wind and known as Lilitu. Another name is Lilin in this regard. Over time, this demonic figure evolved and became more complex, eventually influencing neighboring cultures like the Babylonians. If you remember last week, we spoke about Pazuzu and the Lilu, or wind demons. Lilu usually refers to the masculine wind demons, whereas Lili are the feminine. I do believe that the evolution of Lilith began with the Lili, evolving into the embodiment of a singular entity named Lilitu, and then evolving into Lilith. As mentioned last week, I will focus on the four winds within Sumerian and Mesopotamian lore in a later video though. So if we have a look at Babylonian lore, Lilith was often depicted as a female demon who preyed on newborns and pregnant women. That's where this started to come in. This malevolent image would later seep into Judaic traditions, colouring the perception of Lilith for generations to come. So Lilith's prominence in Jewish folklore can be traced back to the Babylonian Talmud, where she is described as the first wife of Adam. According to one version of the myth, Lilith was created alongside Adam, both formed from the dust of the earth. However, her refusal to submit to Adam's authority led to her expulsion from the Garden of Eden. In Jewish tradition, Lilith is often portrayed as a seductress and a temptress, embodying the dangers of unrestrained female sexuality. Don't know why that would be such a bad thing, but anyway. The legend suggests that after being cast out, Lilith became a demon who preyed on infants, particularly those born out of wedlock. Talismans and amulets were even created to protect newborns from Lilith's malevolent influence. From a Christian interpretation, while Lilith is not explicitly mentioned in the Bible, her influence can be discerned in various interpretations of biblical texts. The association of Lilith with Adam's first wife, her rebellion, and her demonic nature seeped into medieval Christian theology. During the Middle Ages, Lilith became intertwined with the image of the succubus, which is usually a demon that seduces men in their dreams. This fusion of mythologies further solidified Lilith's reputation as a temptress, reinforcing the societal fears and anxieties surrounding female autonomy. If we have a look at this from the Islamic perspectives, in Islamic folklore, Lilith is not as prominently featured as in Judaic or Christian traditions. However, some parallels can be drawn between the Islamic concept of jinn, which are supernatural beings with free will, and Lilith's rebellious nature. In some interpretations, Lilith is considered a jinn, emphasizing her connection to the spiritual realm. So now we've had a look at all of that, let's have a look at some of the modern interpretations. So the modern interpretations of Lilith within the realms of modern magic and demonolatry have taken on diverse and nuanced perspectives, often challenging traditional demonizations and patriarchal narratives associated with this ancient mythical figure. In contemporary occult practices, Lilith is frequently associated or approached as a powerful and independent spiritual entity, offering practitioners a symbol of empowerment, personal growth, and transformation. So if we have a look at the aspect of empowerment and feminine energy in modern magic, the esoteric traditions, Lilith is often revered as a symbol of feminine strength, autonomy, and sexual liberation. Some practitioners view her as a guide for those seeking empowerment and the reclaiming of one's own desires. Embracing Lilith within a modern magical framework allows individuals to tap into feminine energy as a source of personal power, creativity, and self-discovery. Within demonolatry practices, which is, as you know, a modern occult system centering around the worship and veneration of ancient deities and spirits, the demonic, has incorporated Lilith into its pantheon. Within demonolatry, Lilith is often honored as a demon or Daemon or spirit guide with rituals and invocations designed to establish a connection with her. Practitioners of demonolatry may invoke Lilith for guidance in matters related to personal development, sensuality, and the pursuit of personal goals. We can also have a look at Lilith from the aspect of transformation and shadow work. Lilith is also associated with these concepts, the process of exploring and integrating one's unconscious and often repressed aspects. Modern magicians and occultists may work with Lilith to confront and embrace their shadow selves, facilitating personal growth and self-realization. By acknowledging and working with the darker aspects of the self, practitioners believe they can achieve a more holistic and balanced existence. From the perspective of sexuality and passion, the archetype of Lilith as a symbol of sexual liberation plays a significant role in modern magical practices. Some practitioners incorporate Lilith into rituals aimed at embracing and celebrating their own sexuality, promoting healthy relationships and exploring the depths of passion. Lilith is seen as a guide to understanding and embracing one's desires without shame or societal constraints. In the aspect of divination and oracle work, modern magicians often invoke Lilith in divination practices. Some use her energy to embrace intuitive abilities, seeking guidance in matters of the occult, personal growth, and decision making. Lilith is considered by some as an oracle, offering insights into the hidden realms of the psyche and the mysteries of the occult. From the aspect of community and feminist spirituality, in some contemporary spiritual communities, Lilith is celebrated within a feminist and inclusive context. Practitioners who align with feminine spirituality view Lilith as a symbol of resistance against patriarchal norms and a champion of women's autonomy. By interpreting Lilith's story through a feminist lens, these communities seek to empower individuals and challenge societal structures that restrict the personal freedoms. So, in conclusion, Lilith, a mythical figure from roots stretching across millennia, continues to capture our collective imagination. From her early Mesopotamian origins to her various manifestations in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions, Lilith's story is a rich tapestry woven with themes of rebellion, independence, and the ever-evolving perceptions of female autonomy. As we navigate the intricate web of Lilith's myth, we find reflections of human fears, desires, and the timeless quest for identity and liberation. All right, so that's Lilith. And as I said, definitely go and explore more about Lilith. Have a look at libraryoflilith.com. As mentioned, the description will be the link will be in the description below. But Lilith is a very, very complex spirit, a very, very complex being. And there are many, many myths out there that you may find contradictory to each other. Just bear in mind that everybody has their own particular perspective and worldview, and these myths develop out of those worldviews. So, bear that in mind when you're reading about Lilith and the particular myths revolving around Lilith, the worldview they come from, the culture they come from, and just remember that as you're reading them, and then take it all in and decide what your own worldview will become. It's really as simple as that. Okay. Have a good one until next week, and I'll see you then. Cheers for now. Bye bye.